I said, hey, mama, I believe my time in.
Hey guys, it's Kelly here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, then hello. I did a makeup look using the iluvsarahii and Colourpop collection. She came out with 2 different palettes of 4 eyeshadows in each of them, and I used the saucy one for my eyes, and I also used one of the lip liners as well. So if you like this look and you want to recreate it, then just keep on watching. Thanks. Okay, now let's get started with the eyes. First off, I am going to use the Colourpop times iluvsarahii palette. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do today, but this palette is amazing, and I definitely plan on doing something with it. It's the Saucy palette. I got a couple of Colourpop shadows too, but I think I'm just going to stay with this one today. So, I think first off, so I've already done my brows off camera, and I have concealer over my eyelids, so I've set that already, so I'm basically ready for shadow. First color I'm going to start off with is Lit. It's this matte color right here, and I am going to take that on a MAC 224 brush and just kind of lightly dip my brush into it and start blending it as a transition color. Alright, so now that I have that all blended, and I put down the base, what I am going to do is I'm actually going to bring a little bit of the Heavy Glam, this color right here on far right. I'm going to take that on a Sigma E25 blending brush. It's kind of just like a more skinny blending brush. I'm going to put that in the crease. Make sure you tap off any excess, because I'm not sure exactly how pigmented the shadow is going to be or anything. So let's see. Once I've applied the color where I want it in this little outer V and kind of towards into my crease, then I'm just going to go back in with that same MAC 224 brush and a little bit of the Lit matte color that we started out with our transition, and blend. I'm going to blend it in circular motions right over where that V shape is. And don't worry about being too messy, since we are using darker colors and I've done my eyes first. We're going to use a makeup wipe and we're going to kind of clean up the edge of our eyeshadow so that if it goes out too far, don't worry about it. That's why we did our eyes first. Slowly blend that on. Like so. And I actually am going to go and dip into my Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm just going to take, you can use any kind of pinks that you want in it, but I think I'm just going to take a little bit of Venetian Red with, again, that MAC 224 and just kind of warm it up a little bit. It needed a little bit of warmth in there. I'm just going to kind of put that all over. And just like that. Again, it doesn't matter if it goes out too far. You want to just make sure that it's extra blended out there. Right. And then I'm going to finish doing the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I have the other eye matching this one, I am going to go in with Heavy Glam. I actually think I got them confused because on the back here it says it opposite. So I used Razy. This is the transition color that I used. And then I used a little bit of the Razy and Chic Happens. So sorry if I confused anybody. But I'm going to go in next with Heavy Glam. It's this pink color right here. And I'm going to go on with a Sephora Precision Shadow Brush and a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. And I'm going to spray my brush. And then we are going to dip into this pink color, and we're going to put this all over our lid and see what happens. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. I'm gonna kind of go about 3/4 of the way, and I'm gonna leave the outer half of my eye alone and just leave it with that dark color. And what we're gonna do afterwards is we are going to blend this pink color into the deep purple so that it's not such a harsh line. It's kind of like a cut crease, but it's not a cut crease. It's like a lazy cut crease. Okay, so now that we have that done, we are going to go in with our Morphe M514. It's a really tightly small blending brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of this darker purple color again, and we are going to mix that in with our transition color and lightly start blending over where the purple meets that shimmery pink, just to kind of give it a little bit of a transition shit, like fading kind of, so that it's not such a harsh line. All right, so once that is all done, then I am going to start on eyeliner. And for that, I am actually going to be using my Stila Stay All Day eyeliner in Intense Black. Looks like this. And I'm going to do I can't decide whether I want to do a line or just kind of like a regular line or a wing, so I guess we'll see what happens with it. Okay, now once that is done, and remember they're sisters, not twins, okay, I am actually going to curl my eyelashes, and I am going to apply the Lily lashes in the style Opulence. They're really pretty soft, which was what I want. Okay, so now that I put the lashes on, we are actually going to start with our foundation. I'm going to go through this a little bit quick because in the last video I actually did it. So I'm just going to kind of tell you what I'm doing, and then we're going to kind of fast forward it through while I'm doing it. So first things first, I am going to use the Professional primer and the Urban Decay Optical Illusion primer, and cover up all of those pores and get my skin ready for the foundation. Okay, and after that, I am going to go in with my Becca Backlight Priming Filter and mix that in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade 2C1 Pure Beige. And what I like to do is I like to mix them together so that it's not too matte, but it's not too dewy, if you will. All right, and then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and blend all of that in. Okay, now that that is all blended in, and I did blend it out my neck because I am not self-tanned right now, so we're just going to make it work. I am going to next then use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Light Sand, and I'm going to conceal underneath my eyes. Down my nose, my chin, like so. And then I'm just gonna blend that all in. Okay, and after I have done that, I'm going to take my Dermablend Loose Setting Powder, and I'm going to take, I don't really like putting my wet beauty blender in powder, so I always just like to use another one that's dry, and I'm going to lightly bake underneath my eyes. I'm not going to fully bake, I'm just going to kind of put the powder there and then tap it in. I'm going to do that everywhere that I put the concealer. And then if there's any parts, so I have expression lines on my forehead. I like to make sure that I blend everything out really well so that it hasn't come in and sunken into those lines yet. And then I will set it. And also this will help with the appearance of pores. So if there's any place that you have that's a little bit more larger pores, you can use this powder right there and it will help. So my problem area is kind of like right in here. So I'm going to use that powder, just set it all over. Okay. And after that, I'm going to go in with my Sigma Duo Fiber F50 brush, and I am going to take, I actually got this in my, one of my Ipsy glam bags. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer, and it's a little sample of it, but oh, I love it. So I'm going to use that to bronze up my cheeks. And then I'm going to go around the forehead, and on the temple, and then under my jaw. And then I kind of bring the bronzer down slightly around my chest just when I'm not self-tanned so that I can make sure everything's nice and even. You know, don't want anybody to know that you're not really this tan. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush. You can use any kind of brush, but I really like this one from Lancome. It is the Lancome number 22 all over shadow brush. It's fat but skinny, and so I like to use that and a little bit of that bronzer, and I like to contour my nose slightly. The closer the two lines are, the more pinched that your nose is going to look, and I do not have a cute little button nose, so the point is to make me look like I have one. So I'm going to make two lines, and then I'm going to curve right at the end, right there. I'm going to go back in with that previous powder brush, and I'm just going to lightly run over my nose, run over everywhere that I put the bronzer. Because you want the line to be there, but you don't want it to be super, super harsh. And then I am going to go in with my highlight and contour palette by IDY Beauty. And I'm going to take the banana shade and mix it a little bit with the translucent, and I'm going to just highlight underneath the eyes. Just going to kind of give you a little bit of a brighter look and like you're more awake. And I'm going to go down the sides of my nose and down in the middle. And then I'm going to kind of just flip it over and just blend all of it together. And then we are on to blush. So I have a blush. It's in one of my little compact palettes. It's from Ofra, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the name is, but it's kind of this, it's a deeper looking, kind of like raisinish tan color, and I'm gonna do that. Same place that I use my contour. Some people like to put it directly in the balls of their cheeks, but I don't personally, because I feel like kind of just gives you that alive look. I kind of put it all over because I can, you know. And then you're going to want to make sure that you keep that to the side. Don't put it away too far, because next we are going on to highlighting. And I am going to take, I was using a big Morphe brush for this. This is the Morphe E60 fan brush, but I've noticed that it enhances the spots where I don't want it to enhance, so any of like my pores. And so I noticed that using a smaller like blending brush, it makes it more precise so that you can only put the product where you want it to be and not where you don't want it to be. So I'm going to use the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero highlighting palette, and I am going to use the color Kitty Cat mixed with Glow Getter. So I'm gonna mix them both together. I'm gonna put a little bit more of the Glow Getter than the Kitty Cat, and I'm gonna put it right here. And I'm not gonna go any more down this way with it. I'm just gonna right there, and you can bring it up towards this way. but you don't want it to go down any farther, at least in my personal experience. And you're going to kind of bring it up right over the brow, and then just blow whatever you have on your brush out. And I'm going to highlight my Cupid's bow. I'm going to kind of make an exclamation point right here. So I'm going to not go too far up because it's going to make this part of the bridge of my nose look wide. So I'm only going to do it right here, and then I'm going to take my pinky and mix those two colors together and just lightly. Then we are going to start on the under eyes again. So we're going to finish that, and then we'll come back to the rest of the face and do the lips afterwards. So back in the iluvsarahii palette, I'm going to take that same transition color that we use, the one right here, and I'm going to take it. I love this. It's a Eco Tools brush, so one side is a flat shader brush and one side is a really small blending brush. And so what I like to use the blending brush with that maroon shade, the transition color that we had, and then got my mirror. I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line with it. And then I'm going to go in with the flat side of it, and I'm going to use this dark purple, this one that we used in the crease, and I'm going to just lightly add some of that on the outside of it. Right, very close to the lash line, just to kind of give it a little bit more smokiness, but not too much, just a little bit. And then I can go back in with that other side and just blend it out with that transition shade. All right, and once that is done, oh, it is so hot in Texas. I'm sweating here in Texas. It is probably about 100 degrees, and all of these lights on, it's hot. So after that, I'm going to go in with my mascara, and I'm going to just coat my bottom lashes. And so I ended up, I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but I got mascara on the bottom of my lash line, which is no fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that to dry. I don't know if you can see it, it's right here. So I'm going to wait for that to dry. I'm not going to go in with like a Q-tip right now and scrub it off, because that'll just take off everything that I put underneath it. So I'm just going to try and not look down for a second, because I just felt it touch again, and we are going to wait. And once that dries, then we'll kind of just flick it off with a brush. All right, so this is the last and final step. So I ordered some of these, I got 2 lip liners from Colourpop. One of them came with the Sarahii collection, and this one is in 951. So I'm going to line my lips with that. First off, I'm going to take off some of this foundation on my lips. Okay. And I'm going to just line my lips with this. And I'm also going to, as you can see, I kind of just lightly filled in the area around, like inside my lips as well. It's kind of just a trick that I've learned, just in case if you have your liquid lipstick come off or whatever that you're using that day, it's kind of like that you have a base underneath, which is good. So I got 5 of these. They are the Colourpop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipsticks. They're these cute little minis, and I just love them. And I'm thinking that I'm going to use the color Strip, which is this one right here. And one thing I have learned with these Colourpop liquid lipsticks is that you do not want to put multiple layers of them on, or they will get all sticky and kind of like peel off, which nobody wants that. And last but not least, I'm going to set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Let that dry for a minute. And then let me go do my hair, and I will be right back with the finished look. Okay, so this is the finished look. I ended up putting some jewelry on and putting my hair up just for some final touches. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and if you did, then please like and subscribe. And I will be putting out videos twice a week now, so hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!
I can't let me tell, but the songs that the angels sing. And